The Rippaverse continues to own the haters with the announcement of a new one-shot by writer Chuck Dixon and artist Joel Bennett. I'm very excited about this one. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Airy. Welcome to my vidcast, StudioJake, where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All right, so as all of you know, I am a huge supporter of indie comics. I love indie comics, and I put my money where my mouth is. I buy indie comics all the time. I'm a big fan of iconic comics. I've been involved with the She series as well as other places. I've just enjoyed the indie scene so much. It's definitely growing compared to the mainstream. And one of the fastest growing indie publishers is Rippaverse Comics, which of course is owned by podcast host and musician Eric July. And one of the things that's interesting about him is when he launched his premiere title, Isom, he got a lot of interest initially, and there was a few morons, one who has a questionable background and questionable taste in humor regarding maps. They seem to set off like this fire where all the haters are coming at Eric July. They're saying that, oh, he's not part of the industry, he's too new, and they nitpick any little detail. I remember there was a big fuss over the location of a power outlet in one scene. Absolutely dumb. And of course, then people from other segments of the indie scene, they jumped on the bandwagon, and it's been one nonstop hate train ever since. I don't see any of the issues. I don't see any of the problems. I respect Eric July and his work a great deal. He was doing videos where he was critiquing Marvel superheroes and especially how they handled African American characters, where he basically said how, Miles Morales, instead of making him his own characters, he just made him a tokenized version of the original Spider-Man. So all the haters came together and said, well, make your own thing. And he has, and that is in the form of Isom. And then with the recent release of Alpha Core, which I have reviewed all three of these comics on my website, StudioJakeMedia.com. Well, like I said at the intro, he has announced a brand new one-shot that's going to come out this summer called Horseman. And it looks pretty interesting by the art. It's going to be written by the great Chuck Dixon, who also wrote Alpha Core, and it will be drawn by amazing artist Joel Bennett. I am super excited about this. It looks fantastic. The artwork for the cover looks amazing. I'm not sure if that's going to be the final cover, but it looks really, really cool. So this guy is supposed to be a street level superhero similar to the early days of Batman, similar to Daredevil and the Punisher. It's going to be really cool. And Chuck Dixon is prime for that. He wrote a lot of street level action stories during his time. Chuck Dixon is very versatile. He's the co-creator of Bane. He wrote Batman comics. He wrote a lot of the early Tim Drake stories. He, of course, wrote Conan the Barbarian and several G.I. Joe comics. The guy is just phenomenal. He's got an impeccable writing record. So I'm very excited to see where he goes with this story. Like I said, Alpha Core was fantastic. So I can't wait to see where Horseman goes. And Joel Bennett, of course, is a fantastic artist. He has drawn so much stuff. He is incredible. And I look forward to see what he does with Horseman. I am especially excited to see who they're going to get as the colorist. Maybe it'll be Joel Bennett himself. I'm not sure. But whoever it is, that is going to be the key. Like I said, the cover looks fantastic, and I'll put it up here on the screen so you can see it. I think I have already, but you'll be really excited to see this. I'm very stoked for everything the Rippaverse has coming their way. Of course, Yaira is coming in the winter. There's another spinoff for character called Gooding that's coming by one of my favorite writers, Mike Barron. And of course, Yaira is going to be written by the horror master directors themselves, the Twisted Sisters, the twins known as the Soska sisters. They are going to be handling Yaira. I'm very excited for that. A lot of characters were introduced in subplots in Isom 1 and 2, so I'm looking forward to see where those characters go, where their spinoff is heading. I think it's going to be phenomenal. The Rippaverse is doing great things. Yeah, sure, let the haters say what they're going to say. They're going to just do it anyway. They're all going to whine and moan and complain. The irony is Rippaverse, like Iconic Comics, which is one of the reasons I support them so much, they always deliver on time. And if they're late, they communicate with you. Hey, we've got a quality control issue, or hey, there's a shipping issue, or hey, there's a problem with the payment process. They always let you know what is going on. And that is something I very much appreciate about Rippaverse Comics. And like I said, Iconic Comics, they always are very open with you. And one of the interesting things is a lot of the critics who are sort of also in the indie space, their books are sometimes 2 years late. I mean, there was one comic that I supported, and I'm not going to name names because I'm not interested in drama farming. The haters can do that all they want, but it was 2 years. The comic was promised in a year, and it was 2, and you barely got any communication from the creator on the page, on the comment section, because in Indiegogo and Kickstarter, they give a page for the creators to give supporters information, and rarely that happens. Oh, but they might have a YouTube channel. Okay, that's great. I don't have time to watch every single YouTube video. Just once a month is all I'm saying. Update me on the progress of the book and tell me how it's going. And hopefully with Rippaverse and Iconic Comics being so successful and getting their books out on time and completing the stories the way the fans would like to see them. And also, one of the things I appreciate about Rippaverse in particular is he doesn't try to subvert my expectations. This is something we hear a lot. Oh, they're subverting our expectations. I don't want my expectations subverted. I want them exceeded, or at least met. And Rippaverse has consistently met my expectations. And listen, if it's not for you, fine. I'm sure Eric July would say, c'est la vie. But it's really sad when a bunch of jealous creators, instead of just focusing on their own work, they want to nitpick and they want to edit Eric and his team's work and all this stuff. Just get your own books out and let the competition speak for itself. That's how this works. That's what it means to be involved in this sort of space. So that's as far as my criticism. I saw the Soska sisters, Mike Barron, Eric July, and several other members of the Rippaverse crew at MegaCon in Florida. And let me just say, Rippaverse, if you're listening, I hope you come to Arizona. We have plenty of comic book conventions where you can hang your hat and you can set it up. Let me come. Let me interview your whole team. I would love to talk to everyone about Rippaverse because so far I have been satisfied. I have been a happy customer, and I plan on furthering support. And this is not me being a shill. I'm not a paid sponsor or paid advertiser for the Rippaverse. This is just me, my own personal opinion, and I think it's shared with other fans that I'm enjoying the Rippaverse. I'm excited for the future. I can't wait to see what is next, and I'm so glad that Eric July is bringing in all of these amazing other creatives to help curate Rippaverse Comics. It's going to be a fantastic thrill ride. And I look forward to seeing Horseman. I look forward to seeing Yara. I look forward to seeing Isom 3, maybe a Bloodruth comic, maybe an Isom prequel. I especially want to see a sequel to Alpha Core. There's going to be so many of these titles that I can't wait. I hope they expand into more titles. I hope fans get a taste of other places, I don't want to say other universes because Eric July has made it clear he was not going to explore multiverse. No shade, go for it. Richard Meyer, who does Jawbreakers, he does explore multiverses. Totally fine. By the way, that's not a criticism. I love Jawbreakers. I'm just saying Eric July has chosen not to explore the multiverse in his comic book canon, and that's totally fine, and I'm here for it, and I'm excited to see what next. I think it's going to be awesome, and I think most everyone who picks up an issue of Rippaverse, whether you're a casual reader, whether you're a huge comic book fan, I think you are going to go into this with all your nerd and geekiness and have a good time, just like me and countless others have. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any